What's happening, everybody? It's Sean with Reactions to the Classics. Today we got a reaction to Ado and her album Zanmu, brought to us by a friend, longtime supporter, and patron of the channel, River. Thank you, River. Appreciate you. Appreciate all the patrons who make this thing go. If you'd like to support us in any way, check out that Patreon link below or the patron link on the Instagram. We could not do it without the patrons. That is a true fact. We're running a free trial. Go check it out. Well, at the time of filming this, I did River's numbers 11 through 2 top albums of 2024. Picked Ado's album, this one, Zanmu, as their #1 album of the year. So it gets the full album reaction, but I'll put a link down below to numbers 11 through 2 that River chose. A fantastic list. River's in our live streams every Wednesday night, 5:30 p.m. Central Time, and has brought some Ado. So I know some stuff. I'm not going to remember it. I'm looking forward to diving into this. River says, I've been listening to Ado since early 2024, thanks to my fiance introducing me to her music. I've been rocking this album since its release. The various singles like Show go on heavy rotation for me. My usual taste, he says to me, but as is obvious, is hard rock and extreme metal. So a J-pop musician isn't usually my jam, but Ado's got the kind of vocal talent that I can't stop enjoying. This album, for me at least personally, is a 10 out of 10. Not often I give that rating. Even my #2 on the albums of 2024 is an 8.5, but there's no songs on Zanmu I don't vibe with. So I'll give you River's favorite tracks later, but a little bit about Ado. She's 22, is a Japanese singer and songwriter. In 2020, at the age of 17, she made her debut with the digital single Usawa, which peaked at #1 on the Billboard Japan Hot 100. It reached 100 million plays on Billboard Japan within 17 weeks of charting, which was the 6th fastest in history. That's insane. And the youngest for a solo singer. In 2022, her song New Genesis was used as the theme for the anime film One Piece film Red and topped Apple's Music's global top 100 charts, which is a gigantic chart. Having not shared any personal information of herself, little was known about her. In a 2024 interview with The Guardian, she explained her decision to not show her face is tied with the Vocaloid scene and more focus on her artistry. So River brought a video of her performing, and you couldn't see her, and I thought that was just what she chose to do. Because, it's a concert, right? I just thought that's what she chose to do, but, once I read this, I understood. I don't know, honestly, that I want to go watch a concert where I never saw someone. I don't know, but that's neither here nor there. This album is her second studio album, released in July of 2024 via Virgin Music. Announced on April 20th, the album was preceded by the release of, because this is what we do in the streaming world, the release of 14 singles. This went to #1 in Japan. Back in the old day, says the old guy, you release one single, bring the album out and go, but in the streaming world, we just release it all right away. In 2022, she released her debut studio album, Kyojin, which went to debut atop both the Oricon albums charts and the Billboard Japan Hot 100 albums charts. So there's like 3 different charts in Japan. I don't understand what they all are, so just giving you that heads up. But it broke a string of records, including becoming the first to sell over 100,000 copies in its first week by a female artist since Superfly's 2008 self-titled debut studio album. Later that year, Ado provided singing vocals for Uta for the Japanese animated musical fantasy film One Piece film Red, which we were talking about. The accompanying soundtrack album, Uta's songs One Piece Red, became an international success, charting in various countries and breaking records on the Japan Hot 100. I'm just telling you so you kind of paint the picture. How do you go from being 17 to all of a sudden just becoming this gigantic star that we don't know anything about in the United States? River's in the United States, but as a rule, we don't know. So I'm trying to kind of do a little bit of educating. Then she went on tour. It launched in February of 2024. It saw her become the first female solo artist, to sell out Japan National Stadium, an achievement that underscores her obvious crazy success. She explains that Zanmu is an existing word meaning dreams that were never realized or lingering dreams that remain in the heart even upon awakening. I've always loved this word, she said, and I thought it represented the dreams I've fulfilled in my life and the youth that could not be fulfilled, end quote. Adding to this, she said, quote, things from the past become glorified as they fade into the past. They do, because we remember the good stuff and we forget about the bad stuff of them. Shining brightly, and this concept resonates with the bittersweet feelings within me as an individual working alone all this time. I hope that those bittersweet feelings of mine will become enduring dreams, just as I hope that Ado's presence, music, songs, Vocaloid, and Utite will become something that all listeners of the album hold onto in their hearts as enduring dreams as Zanmu. I named my album with this sentiment in mind. So yes, that was a lot of upfront information, but I was trying to give you an idea of where she's coming from. What I have learned on these songs is I think some of them are going to be partly in English, some of them partly in Japanese, but we're just going to get there. I have a little bit on some of these songs, but not a lot. But if you've never been this before, the music won't be in the video, but it will be in the Vimeo link below. So you got to click on that and follow on with us. Let's jump into it. Now, obviously, I'm not Japanese, so I'm probably going to butcher some of these words, but for the most part, I do much better with Japanese stuff than I'm going to do with French and those sorts of things. And if you're watching this, you're probably like, it gets worse than this. It does. It gets worse than this. We'll go with Nukagara. All right. I'm going to have the lyrics up as much as I can find the translated ones, as always. Thanks again, River. All right. The arrangement on this song is crazy interesting, right? It's pretty complex. I don't really think I like it, to be quite honest with you. It's very disjointed, and I don't, but I mean, I know that's the idea. It varies from that to then she breaks into this low tempo, gorgeous vocals and back it. But the kind of franticness and jaggedness of that arrangement, especially in the first half, I didn't love. But the song's, basically it's about you live your own life. We're always trying to get back to kind of where we were, and you can't do that. So if you're happy living your life the way you are, that's really all you can do. So it's got a good message. Next up, we have Missing. Great drumming and guitar, very forceful presentation of lyricism in here and vocals, like a lot of power. And she's kind of saying she wants to really know who this person is. Japanese lyrics have a lot more, I don't want to say mysticism, but mystery to them, just by the way that they view things. But, so what kind of existence is the person facing you? It's me who erased my present, surely a spy from both heaven and hell. That's kind of how it starts and how it ends a little bit, but you felt the emotion in it, so I thought that was good. Next up, you got Dignity, written by Koshi Inaba, served as a theme song for the live-action film adaptation of The Silent Service. This song went to number 34 in Japan. All right, Dignity, I didn't even notice I didn't have your Spotify bar up for you because I'm so focused on the lyrics translation, trying to listen to what we're using instrumentation-wise. Her voice is gorgeous on this. Obviously, this is a ballad. When you read the lyrics, it's definitely a ballad. It's a love song, but the emotion she has, the vocal runs, it's a fantastic song. The power of her voice, the way she's holding notes, shows you her ability here. But Dignity, great song. Next up, we have Chocolate Cadabra. The song was released as part of it's either Lotte or Latte Corporation's 60th anniversary, 31 in Japan. All right, I mean, it's basically a commercial song, right, for the chocolate. So there's a little bit of other stuff in there, but that's basically what it is. So, I mean, it's nicely done. It's the tempo, the arrangement is different than on the other songs. I mean, a lot of variants on this album. So, I mean, it's a fine song. Up to the fifth track, Kura Kura. Serves as the opening theme for the season 2 of Spy Times Family. I think that's how you say that. During an interview, she said she was honored to record the theme song. She watched the show for a long time. Went to number 9 in Japan, so much bigger hit here. Look, it's the opening theme to a show. It has that kind of energy about it. Kura Kura. There's a ton of lyrics to this song, but she does a good job getting through all of them in a quick manner, right? This song is a sprint, and it takes a special vocal talent to be able to do the sprint songs. Not everybody can do that, so well done. Next up, we have I'm a Controversy. All right, I'm a Controversy, a fun song. We get into that chorus, it really goes. One of the reviews I read for this album, this was their favorite song on the album. I don't think it's probably going to be my favorite song on this album, but it's really well done. And once again, she gets through a ton of lyrics on here. And all these arrangements are somewhat different. They have some similarities. This is more electro pop for a little while in here. So yeah, I like the variants. Next up, we have a Rebellion. So a little shorter on this one. And this one, supposedly she jumps from Japanese to back again. So it always blows my mind when artists can do this. Bandmate, another artist up on this channel from Japan, they do that some now. Like it would be insane to me to be able to switch back and forth. Like I don't think my little brain could do that. Okay, that one had a ton of rocking energy. She sounded fantastic. Great drum work, guitar work on that one. It did jump back and forth a little bit on the English lyrics, but yeah, love the energy of that one. And next up, we have All Night Radio. Serves as the theme song for the stage play Ano Yori di Itatra by the Nippon Broadcasting System. Went to 99 in Japan, so just slipped into that Hot 100. All Night Radio. So lyrically, it's talking about being the DJ basically on All Night Radio, which is a job I would have loved to have had when I was younger. This song is fantastic, right? The energy. She sings the chorus in English. The third song, Dignity, that I like, the ballad, it had a very similar like arrangement to a Chicago song, the band Chicago in the 80s Chicago, the Peter Cetera ballady Chicago. And this song very much could fit in different eras, but it very much could fit in the later 70s era. It just fits in that smoothness, soul singing, but she is so versatile, man. We're only halfway done with this album. As we go to Himawari, which means sunflower. It serves as the theme song for the show 1840, Futari Nara Yumi Mo Koi Mo. It's a lot for this guy. 19 in Japan. All right, Himawari. Really well done. It's more like a pop ballad, so to speak. So it's something we haven't seen yet. You know, we're 9 songs in, so her versatility is fantastic. And I mean, the production on this was great too. So I thought it was really good. I'll get to the song on here that I knew I was going to struggle with on the pronunciation. Ian No Akuri, a track that I knew I was going to struggle with this one. Say it fast. Do the best you can, boys and girls. That's how you got to do it out here. All right, a really well done song. We dial it back a lot here and let her vocals shine. We get the instrumentation out of there for a little bit, then we build back up into the soaring chorus, which is always a cool thing on a song. But you really feel the power and the purity of her voice on this one. Next up, we got Mirror. It's written and produced by Notori, 44 in Japan. All right, definitely another different side. The heavy bass, some funk in there, and you know the song itself. I mean, she's with this guy. You know, it's a courting song. Let's put it that way. But definitely just totally different, right? Bass work by Leon Nishizuki. So I mean, totally different than the previous song. Except we got Rule. All right, Rule. It had a little bit of similarities to Nukagawa, the opening track that I did not like, but I like this one much more. It's not going to be one of my favorites on here. I already give that away, but I'm a broken record, but her versatility and able to do whatever style is incredibly impressive. All right, next up, we got the biggest song on here. Show, which literally means chant, written by Tofumat Kayo with additional writing credits from producers Jiga and Teddy Lloyd. The song was used by Universal Studios Japan to promote their Halloween event, Halloween Horror Nights. #1 in Japan, number 44 in the Global 200. Within 8 weeks of the release, the song amassed over 100 million streams. Just a crazy bunch of energy in this song. Super enjoyed it, man. I can see why it was a hit. It's got all kinds of different influences in here. It starts almost with, I guess, a little bit of country info. Like you got all kinds of stuff in here, but just energetic and infectious. Still got 3 songs left. We got Abara, literally means thorns. It was released as a theme song from Mesamashi TV on Fuji TV, 38 in Japan. All right, so that one was basically the decade of the 2000s, the first decade of the century's rock song. That's what that was right there. I mean, I'll cover it at the end. I'll summarize it in the end when I'm going to give the album its grade, but I mean, she can do everything. 2 songs left. We got Value. All right, Value, basically a power rock ballad. You know, great drumming on here. All right, let's go to the last track. Now, there's 16 songs on here. I told you 14 were released as singles before the album. I'm going to guess that the first track and this, the last track, they only have 3 million streams, far less than anything else. So I'm going to guess these are the 2 that were not released as singles ahead of time. All right, so she goes up right to the last second. She definitely didn't end this album on a whimper. This song has everything. It's experimental. It's got also electronica in there. She's basically rapping for a little bit in here. Some techno stuff in here. Some industrial house. Like this would fit in a club, really getting after it with the lights and the smoke. But you know, all these different genres on this album, but all these different genres in this final song. So it's kind of appropriate to finish this thing out. As before I go to my favorite tracks, so let's get Rivers. Rivers said in no particular order, Show, Value, 0 or O. Yeah, I guess that's O. Why do I keep saying 0? I don't know. All Night Radio and Rebellion. All right. For me, you know, there's 16 tracks. It's going to be a lot of honorable mentions. Dignity, Cura, I'm a Controversy, Himawari, and Abara. Faves are going to be Rebellion and All Night Radio and Show. I'm just trying to look through this list of all these things. Now we're going to get to my overall score. Now remember, this is River's #1 album of the year. River gives it a 10 out of 10. River's second album was an 8.5 out of 10 on the list. So obviously thinks of this very highly. I'm not going to be anywhere close to that because here's the thing. Because this has multiple genres, and I think there's some reasons why. right? You've got commercial basically appeal here for Universal Studios and that chocolate company. You have different TV and movie themes. So you're doing all these different things. For her to be able to do all this and have this versatility is really insane. The fact that she's only 22 years old, super, super talented. But I think the more you listen to this, the more it would stick in your head. And I think there's probably a better way to listen to it, because I'm trying to track the lyrics because I want to know what the song's about, because that's always important to me. The lyrics don't have to be fantastic in any song. I'm just curious to what they're about. But as you're trying to, it's harder to read lyrics when I'm reading the English translation and she's singing in another language. It just is. It's harder for your brain to track. And I'm trying to track where she is to see how she switches it up in the chorus and all that stuff. And so you can't exactly vibe with it. I mean, you can't ever really in this format, but a lot more than you can in this situation. So I think when I'll go back and listen to this album again, because we're doing a 2024 top albums of the year, Trey and I are on the channel as we do every year. I'll go back and listen to this again without all of this and just the headphones, and I'll probably even give it a higher score. But right now, I'm going to be at an 8.25 out of 10. So let me know what you think of this down below. What are your favorite tracks? She is touring the United States right now, but let me know your favorite tracks and what you give this album, and where does it rank in your 2024 rankings if you do such things. Thanks again to River for bringing this one. If you haven't already, give this a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Got over 3,000 videos up. Type an artist up in the box above. You'll probably find them on here. Until next time, guys, I will see you.